Hello and welcome to the Mrs. V Night Shift. Tonight, I'm very excited to have the gorgeous Tiffany Farrington with me. Hello.
Hi, Scarlett.
And we're just sitting here with
Fang.
Fang. It is very much looking very at home here.
Yes.
This is your puppy dog.
This is my doggy, the love of my life.
Absolutely very cute in a little bed here, which is looks very comfortable actually.
There's a camera, Fang. There's a camera.
So, Tiffany, you have the very successful social diary, which is your business.
Yes.
And online, tell us a little bit about that.
So socialdiary.com.au I started 13 years ago, and it's warmly regarded as the PR Bible amongst my members. That's what they call it. So we run the central calendar of all media events in Australia so that no one clashes events against each other. It's just it's a network for publicists and brands and media.
And I love this because it was done from a real collaboration sense, which is so refreshing, and it's alive and well and doing well on you.
Thank you very much.
So we'll get started with the questions tonight. So the first one is, how was your day today?
I had a pretty hectic day today. We're just about to launch the new website in 2 weeks. So we've been working on the new look social diary for about a year.
Yes.
We haven't redesigned in 7 years. So
Wow.
I'm feeling like very techie, and I'm not really a techie person, even though I run a tech business. I'm one of those people that can't even use my remote control properly. So I'm deep into like coding and back-end website stuff. So
you're in that world.
yes.
And it's interesting because at the moment we're in Mercury retrograde, I think, or something happening.
That's a terrible
No,
time.
but it'll push forward. So it actually moves through next week.
Okay, great, because we're relaunching in 2 weeks.
Oh, there you go. Perfect timing.
I'm going to try and push through.
Perfect timing. So let's get on the next thing, which is, dear Mrs. Vane, I think the question that I wanted to ask you was, what is the thing that you believe is coming soon in the sense, or changing in PR media? Is there anything you can see coming up?
I believe, and I truly hope, that there's going to be a flushing out of the fraud that's happening in social media.
Ooh, okay.
So there's been a lot of the social media industry, in particular Instagram, is deeply unregulated, and there's a lot of people buying followers and faking their influence and charging brands a stupid amount of money, and everybody is losing, and it's just got to stop. I want more transparency and ethics, and it's coming.
It's coming. It will be, because I think that was the one thing I always felt, is that it'll naturally get regulated because people will want it to be. So
but we're right at that precipice of the fraud being completely eliminated, or at least the people that have been fraudulent being exposed.
Yep. Okay, so watch out, everybody.
Yes.
All
if
happening.
you've been buying your followers, watch out.
Watch out. Okay, and then what's the biggest shift that you've had in your life?
In my career or in my personal life?
Either one. What comes to mind?
The first one, well, the one actually. I started my business in 2004, and I was online, but I was treating it like it was a normal 9-to-5 business. And in 2008, I read a book called The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferris, and it became a bestseller. I stumbled upon it at JFK Airport, and I read it and I just went, oh my God, I actually have this business where I can have freedom and not be face-to-face or not be in an office. And it shifted my life. I immediately booked a flight and went away for a year in 2009.
Oh my God.
And I still ran my business the whole time because it was online.
Yeah.
And I could, but I just didn't realize that I had that opportunity until this book kind of showed me that.
And that was early on, like you were quite a kind of 13 years ago that you did that, where people are kind of doing it a lot now.
Well, funnily enough, around 2008-9 was when you could really get the internet everywhere. Like a few years before, you could in the late 90s we could get the internet at internet cafes, but around that time, I travelled in 2009, I could get the internet in Cuba. It was dial-up and it was slow, and I went on my family friend's yacht and we could get it on a yacht in the middle of the ocean. So that was the tipping point. Yeah. I had to send my newsletter all the time, so I knew that it didn't matter where I went, I could get the internet, and that changed my life. And now I travel constantly.
Wow.
And still work every day.
Yeah.
But at least it's with something different out my window all the time.
When you did that, so you made that shift and you realised your life would change. I mean, was there any trigger that enabled that shift to happen for you?
It was reading that book, but I mean, the thing is I already had the online business.
Yeah, okay.
So I didn't have to reinvent anything. I just had to open my eyes wider to what I was already capable of with that kind of business. Because I used to run an agency where my clients wanted me front and center all the time. I had to be at the events. I had to be in the boardroom for the meetings. Whereas then with an online business like Social Diary, I just have to be online. So really, my members and my staff, it doesn't matter where I am as long as I'm online.
Yeah, awesome. So, great shift to have.
Yes.
Travel everywhere. Tell me the best advice anyone has ever given you.
Definitely my dad. It was work out what you love doing and then work out how to get paid for it. And that sounds simple, but a lot of people actually have trouble with the first part, is actually working out what they really love doing. I was really lucky that I fell into PR and events straight from uni at 21, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I believe that if you love something so much, the money will either come or you'll love it so much that you don't care about how much money you're making. As long as, you can pay for your life. But, there's a lot of people that are passionate about nursing, and most unfortunately, our society pays nurses and teachers, another example, really badly. But if they love it, they will always love it. And I've got friends that work in really high-flying finance jobs and earn heaps of money and hate it.
And hate it, yeah.
I wouldn't want that life. So I would rather do what I love and try to make lots of money out of it. And if you can't, you love it anyway. It's a win-win. Are
you finding, well, I'm certainly finding that people are now really wanting to do more meaningful work.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that, because I do brand sessions with clients and personal brand, and their question is, they kind of get lost. They don't know what they want. And that's such a big question, as you say. That's the big bit to go, really, what is it? Without that little voice going, how can I earn money from it? And I think that stops people.
And unfortunately, the people that do something that they don't love and the ones that do make lots of money, they just end up spending it on nothing anyway. So it's like, well, what are you doing? What do you... you're much better off, and you try to do it as young as possible, because making a career flip later, it just gets harder and harder. It's not impossible, but it does get harder.
Yeah.
Because some people get used to a certain lifestyle. They might be in this finance job or an investment bank, and suddenly they're in their 40s and they're like, but I've had this lifestyle. It's harder to give up.
Yeah.
So if you can work it out younger, it's good.
Look, it is good. I think what is happening too is there are so many more people doing contractual stuff. Careers are changing more rapidly because the world's changing.
Yeah.
So I think it's really been tough for some people, and if you're younger looking at that, just get that muscle going, because things will change even out of your control as well. Very good advice. Tell me, best tool you've ever used for getting through challenges?
Friends of mine.
We love our friends.
If I have a bad day, I just grab him and we just go for a walk by the water, Rushcutters Bay Park or Elizabeth Bay, and just that's my stress release is him. But friends and a glass of wine. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
You just need to talk it out.
You need to talk it out, especially women.
Yes.
It's very important to talk it out. I think you just release, there's a great energy.
Funnily enough, especially men, because they aren't told that they're supposed to talk things out. So they actually end up wanting to talk more than anybody.
Really?
Whereas women, we just feel like that's what we do. We talk things out and we feel very comfortable about that.
We do. I think, men don't feel comfortable.
Well, they're just not raised like that. But really, we're all people, and men need to have a whinge or a rant or a vent or a discussion just as much as we do. They just aren't given, I don't know, permission.
And also they always are told to fix things. Yeah. Because I know with my darling husband, it's always like, how can I fix it for you? And they get frustrated. Whereas women just know to talk it through and have that kind of support makes a massive difference.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now let's talk about your puppy dog. What is the most favourite thing about your doggy?
The way we met. So I was just walking down the street one night, it was a late Sunday night, and a fight broke out. And he was with a homeless man, and he came running out to me, and we had a little cuddle. He was tiny. And the homeless guy watched me and him, and he said, I can't look after him anymore. And that was it. It was love at first sight. I already knew that I wanted a dog, and I always knew that I wanted to rescue. So it was fate. And I took him home that night, and I named him Fang. And he's the face of Social Diary. He's the love of my life. He's, yeah.
That is such a beautiful story.
Adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop.
Yeah, we put down 250,000 dogs and cats a year in New South Wales alone. So if you ever want a new family member, you must go to the pound first.
Well, I did some work with Animal Welfare League, and they had so many animals just ready for home.
Yeah.
So, fantastic tip tonight for everyone. Please shop, don't. Yes,
adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop. Love it. Okay, so tell me, what's your favourite Australian?
Oh, this is a tough one. Look, I'm not really much of a product girl. Yeah. I shouldn't say that being in PR.
Anything.
Look, I love Model Co products. Yeah. Firstly, they don't test on animals. They're completely cruelty free. They're Australian made, and they're pink and they're beautiful. I mean, I think that's probably, I buy everything in their range. So yeah, I love Model Co.
Beautiful. We'll put that on the site. Now tell me your favourite nightcap.
Shiraz, but a really full-bodied, heavy Shiraz. I always say if I hold it up to the light, if I can see through it, I don't want to drink it. Ooh, so no Pinot. It's got to be like opaque.
Okay. Shiraz is not sweet, is it?
No, it's just a very sort of full, velvety, whereas Pinot is very light. You can see straight through it, and it's a little bit acidic. I like
Shiraz.
That's my nightcap.
Actually, I just had a little bit earlier from you. Thank you very much. Affirmation card. Now, I would like you to pull an affirmation card. Now, how these work is it's for all of us.
Yes.
And you do a little shuffle.
I'm a terrible shuffler. I'm the daughter of a card player, and I can't shuffle.
And if one drops out, it's meant to. It's
okay. Right. Okay.
See, everything's meant to be. And then whatever the card you pull is for all of us and for people watching, and to have a great day tomorrow and a night.
Right.
So just pick
one. A good one. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
So do I just...
Yes, just pull one. And then tell me what it says. Actually, I've got my glasses on tonight, so I can...
It says, I am smart because...
I love that. Okay, so the whole idea is that you have to find the reason. So it's not just a blanket affirmation. You have to find it inside of yourself. So it actually means something.
Yeah.
So for example, because it's always like, I'm smart. So I will find a reason that I'm smart because I've been able to sit here with you tonight and have a great conversation, and I was able to manage to pull that together somehow with a little bit of help. Thank you.
That's lovely.
But yeah, so the same for you. If you're thinking tonight that you're feeling kind of whether things aren't going right and you're feeling a little bit down or something, if you look for that reason in yourself, then you'll kind of go, oh yeah, I am smart because of this. Because I think sometimes we head towards the negative a lot.
Yeah,
and
we're trained to do that.
Trained to do it. So it's nice to kind of remind ourselves why we're smart and we're wise, and
Yeah.
So a great card to pull tonight.
I will think about that.
Yes, use it. And of course, lots of love and sparkle, and good night to everybody. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Scarlett, you're wonderful.
Inspiring, and just so looking forward to the journey ahead for you. We'll be definitely getting you back on the show. I believe you're going to Melbourne, are you?
Yes, I'm moving to Melbourne for change of scenery.
Change of scenery, we'll have to do a little show in Melbourne.
Yes.
And check out where you are and say hi to Fang.
Fang's coming with me.
Of course, can't imagine. Thank you, good night, and have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm seeing the beautiful Julie Elliott at her home, and we'll be talking about the fun things about behind the scenes of someone who is so into finances and running banks. So it'd be great to be in her home. Good night, and see you next time.